Well, hello. Everybody having a good time? We're just getting started. So very, very happy to see you all here in the Eastman Theater. And we're all very happy to be up here on stage for this Rochester's 34th annual Tuba Christmas concert. So, we're just very thrilled to be in this space, on this wonderful stage, in our city's finest performance venue. Most of us on stage, this is our very first time playing in this hall, so it's just a real thrill for us to be here. So welcome. So the biggest thing you need to know is each carol we're going to do, you all have song sheets, right? All right? Each carol we're going to play through twice, and then you'll see me turn around and I'll give you the cue to start singing. So you picked up on that already pretty well. So that's more or less self-explanatory. It just sounded fantastic, by the way. So keep that up. I want to hear more singing. All right, let's move along. We've got Deck the Halls next. Thank you. So what I forgot to mention, and maybe this would be a good opener from now on, I should remember this. My name is Jeremy Stoner. Thank you. And really, the most important thing is what you see and hear on stage, so I'm really kind of secondary to that. But it is my pleasure to organize this whole thing and conduct it and keep this tradition going. This is my 5th year. So this is my 5th year of organizing this whole thing, but this is about my 30-something year of being involved with this Rochester Tuba Christmas thing. So it's my pleasure to kind of take it over and keep it going, and really excited to have brought it here to the Eastman Theater. I wanted to mention too, as you were walking in, you might have heard some music coming from up on high. Those were students of the Eastman School. So please give them a big round of applause for some So, obviously, planning Tuba Christmas is not my full-time job, although sometimes it seems like it is. I'm the teacher of tuba and euphonium at Nazareth College, also at the Hochstein School. Okay? So tuba is my life 24/7, all right? But even despite that fact, today is still a very special day, and I just really look forward to this and really love doing this. I wish that every day was a lot more like this with this many tubas on stage. So, anyways, all right, that's enough of me talking. Let's move on. God rest you, Mary Gentlemen. How's it sound out there? I'm extremely fortunate because I think it really sounds the best right here, so I'm sorry for the rest of you. But I think it probably sounds all right out there, so I'm sure you're enjoying it just fine. So, Tuba Christmas was not my invention, right? It wasn't anyone in Rochester's invention. So, although it'd be awesome if we could take credit for such a brilliant idea, we cannot. Right? Tuba Christmas comes from the Harvey Phillips Foundation. Harvey Phillips, who was a great virtuoso tuba player and tuba teacher at Indiana University, came up with this idea in 1974 and staged the first one of these in New York City on the ice in Rockefeller Center. Right? They still do it there now, all these years later. And that's a really big one. We've got about, I think, 181 on stage today, so, which is fantastic. But I think in New York there are more upwards of the like 300 to 500 range. So we've got some work to do here, but this is pretty awesome, anyways. So Harvey, his idea was to find a way to honor his teacher, the great William Bell, who before Harvey was one of our first great tuba virtuosos, Mr. Bell. And so he wanted to honor William Bell and also, promote the beauty of these often underappreciated instruments. I think you would agree that while you don't normally hear a tuba playing a beautiful melody, that a tuba can play a beautiful melody, right? And euphoniums as well. So that was his idea to kind of show off the beauty of our instruments and our ability to play, to be good musicians and play great music together. So that's a brief history of Tuba Christmas. So let's move on with the program. First Noel. So Tuba Christmas is done in over 200 cities worldwide. That number keeps creeping up year to year. In fact, there was a new one just started in Canandaigua. They had their first one just last weekend. So this happens all the time. It catches on. which I think is great. We should just have this every day. So, we title this concert Tuba Christmas, but you see a lot of different instruments on the stage, and you might kind of wonder what the heck all of these things are. They all look a little bit different. So all of these instruments are of the tuba family. So on this side, we've got more traditional just tubas, all right? Over on this side, we've got euphoniums and baritones and double-belled euphoniums and all kinds of other stuff in between. Some mellophones, maybe, some other marching type euphoniums and stuff like that. So, what is a euphonium? There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. Sometimes we often call these baritones in our school music programs, all right? These are indeed euphoniums, or also known as tenor tubas, all right? There's a lot of different names for this one same instrument. And basically, they're a tenor brass instrument playing in the same range as like a trombone, but with a much prettier sound than a trombone. So, the baritone, there is the actual instrument that is just a baritone. I saw some really small little baritones. There's one right there. Hold that one up. Yeah, up high. See that little thingy? Yeah. That's a baritone. Yeah, stand up, stand up, stand up. Okay, that's a baritone. Any other little baritones around here? I saw a couple. Yeah, that's a nice little baritone. Good, good. So most of the bigger instruments are what we would refer to as a euphonium. Or a baritone. They have a very lovely sound. So I just wanted to explain that to you. Also, over here, we've got all kinds of different tubas, different shapes and sizes. All the way in the back, we've got our sousaphones. All right, it's pretty easy to see. That's a form of a marching tuba. All right, and then the other tubas, we've got basically two classes of tubas. We've got our big tubas, which would be like a B flat or a C tuba. So where are my B flat and C tubas? So those are a bigger variety, okay? Sometimes they can come small too. We make them small for our younger folks here. We have any E flat or F tuba players here today. Any E flat or F players. All right, so these are pitched a few steps higher. E flat and F tubas are usually used for smaller ensemble playing, more virtuosic solo literature, etc., things like that. They have a little bit smaller sound, but still tuba nonetheless. So everything you see on the stage is a tuba of sorts. Okay, so let's sing some more. I forgot one thing. So Good King Wenceslas is next. And I just looked this up yesterday because I always kind of wondered who was Good King Wenceslas. So the story, it goes like this. Good King Wenceslas was a Czech king, so of the Czech Republic or the former Czechoslovakia, that region of the world. And on the Feast of Stephen, which is the day after Christmas, he would go out and brave whatever kind of elements. I assume it's a lot like Rochester weather. So he would go out there with his guys and ride around and give alms to the poor on the Feast of Stephen. So that's the story of Good King Wenceslas. So as I mentioned just a little earlier, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 180 or 181 maybe tuba players on stage today, which is our largest group in a while. Last year we had about 175, so we beat that by a little bit. Some of you may remember the glory days of Midtown Plaza. Some of those were 200 or maybe as many as 250 in those days. So we're working our way back up to those numbers. And hopefully doing it here in the Eastman Theater will help us be able to continue to grow a little bit. So the next one up is Go Tell It on the Mountain, which is one of the few American carols that we're going to do today. So this is based on an African-American spiritual that isn't actually really a Christmas song. However, the fact that it mentions the nativity of Jesus kind of has allowed it to be grouped into that category, and now we kind of know it as a Christmas song. So, and I really like this one because it's kind of got a jazzy middle section. We get to swing a little bit. So here's Go Tell It on the Mountain. So one of the things that the Harvey Phillips Foundation does is they provide the music that we all play. We play the same thing every year, which makes it really easy to continue to coordinate. So they produced these books for the very first one in 1974, and we've been doing the same thing ever since. The book has been added, it's been doubled in the number of carols over the years. But the original arrangements were done by American composer Alec Wilder, who some of you may have heard of, but if you haven't, he's actually born in Rochester, a Rochester native, and a great composer of brass music over the years. He's wrote some really great, excellent tuba solo pieces, and euphonium pieces, and brass chamber music, and all kinds of stuff. Just a great friend to brass instruments. And so these arrangements are very special. They're not just a very plain two-part harmony Christmas carol like you might hear a lot of the time. He actually spent a lot of time composing these and arranging these in four parts and spreading the melodies around and using wonderful harmonies and things. So we're very lucky to have these arrangements. And like I said, it makes it really easy to be able to just pick up that book and know that it's going to be a great arrangement, it's going to work, and you guys can sing to it, and we can all enjoy it. So thank you, Mr. Wilder. arrangements by Alec Wilder, we have something very special that we do here in Rochester that we started a number of years ago. And then we've taken these arrangements and we've simplified them down to some really basic stuff, mostly just whole notes and half notes. But the idea is to encourage younger people to join us, right? So we'll get to ages in a little bit, but to be able to accommodate beginners, whether they be young people or adults that would like to try this. So any of you in the audience today, if you get so inspired, we could hook you up with a horn and some music and you can get up here next year. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So we're going to move right along to "O Little Town of Bethlehem," another American carol that was inspired by an American priest from Philadelphia taking a trip to the Holy Land and captured that in these lyrics. That's where this comes from. So, in talking about the simplified arrangements, here's the segue. We have a bunch of younger people on stage. We've got a bunch of normal age people on stage, and a bunch of older than that people on stage. So, let's figure out what we got here. Do we have any fourth graders? Any fourth graders playing this year? Or third graders? Right there. Isn't that amazing? Fantastic. Do we have any fifth graders? Bunch of fifth graders. Very cool. Very cool. Sixth graders. We have sixth graders. Cool. Very cool. How about middle school and high school age? Excellent. Do we have, I know the answer to this, but do we have any college students on stage today? A bunch of college students. All right, so let's say that the college age group covers higher teens and 20s. Let's go to, how about 30s? Anybody in their 30s playing today? 40s? Who do we have in their 50s? What do we have in their 60s? Shall we keep going? What do we have in their 70s today? And I know we've got a few in their 80s. Who's in their 80s today? And how about another one? Do we have a 90-year-old? Anyone in their 90s? Stick with us for a few more years because I want to break that century mark. I don't think we've ever. Do we have anyone that's 100 years old playing on stage today? Well, Santa. And Santa, I mentioned the fact that we have a double-belled euphonium on stage. I think there's another one back there somewhere. So this is kind of a wild instrument. It's a horn with two bells on it. All right. So one of those is kind of like a regular euphonium sort of sound. And if he holds one of the valves down, all the sound goes through the tubes and out the smaller bell to get a little bit different kind of sound, more like an actual baritone. That's kind of the idea behind that. So that horn's from around the 1920s. It's something that was commonly found in bands around that time, like the Sousa band and all the military bands. So very, very unique kind of instrument. So, all right, now that we've got ages covered, I think we can go on and sing Silent Night. So Silent Night was originally performed on Christmas Eve of the year 1818 in the little town of Oberndorf, Austria. Originally a very small choir accompanied by one guitar. So I think we've come a long way with that one. Beautiful, beautiful music. So, we know how old we all are, but we don't know where we all come from. We don't all come from Rochester. We're probably mostly all from the greater Rochester area. But let's see what we've got here. Do we have any City of Rochester or City School District participants today? City of Rochester, people that live in the City of Rochester? A couple of there, teachers. That includes me too. proud graduate of East High School. The year doesn't matter, pretty much that. How about Monroe County, the greater Rochester, Monroe County area? Raise your hand if you're from our general region. How about outside of Monroe County, but still in New York State? Outside of Monroe County, but still within the state? Great. Who here is from outside of the state of New York? Anybody? We've got a few. Anyone from out of the country playing with us today? North Pole? Good. You can always count on Santa for a great anecdote. So I just pointed out Santa's really cool instrument. We've got something else here that's a first timer for us. I don't know if you guys can see this red tuba that's right in the center. That's pretty cool. That thing's made out of plastic. Cool wind plastic tuba. It's a really neat thing. So a few years ago, a company started making trombones out of plastic, and we were calling those P-bones. So now we're getting into some of the valve instruments. It's a lot easier to make a slide out of plastic than it is to get a really good working valve and one that'll play in tune. So really cool to see where technology is taking us. I think someone made that on a 3D printer. Okay. Here we go, a wassailing. So wassailing, or caroling if you're an American, wassailing if you're British, is simply going door to door and singing Christmas carols and getting into the spirit and sharing with the community, which is very much what we're doing here today. We're all one big community. You're all that part of the community, and we're all part of the musical community, and it's so amazing to bring everybody together and share in some great holiday spirit. So thank you for that. So traditionally, you would go door to door, and at each stop, the gracious host would then, after a few carols, present everyone with a glass of wassail, which may or may not have been alcoholic. We don't know. We don't know. Another cool thing about what we do here, and they do this in a lot of other cities, but I think we have some really good ones here. If you haven't noticed, we decorate our instruments. We wear these, we got Tuba Christmas hats and Santa hats and all kinds of fun apparel. But we have some really great tuba decorations this year. We got blinking lights, we've got tinsel, we've got bows, wrapping paper. This little elf over here with a tuba skirt, that's pretty sweet. We've got wreaths. What else do we have? I love the lights. I like the flashing things. That's a great t-shirt. We got Santa t-shirts. How about a big round of applause for all the effort that everybody's putting into. So, with all of that joy in mind, here's Joy to the World. us got here up on stage today somehow. We all got our start somehow. Some of us very young, some of us a little bit later on in life. But what other activity can you get involved with in your life that you can still do when you're 90 and still belong to a community of people and make great music and do a lot of fun stuff? I don't see a lot of 90-year-old NFL players. So this is really a lifelong activity, but it doesn't have to start young. We're starting these guys young, which is great, but there are many ways you can get involved in music later in life. The Eastman School has a wonderful program called the New Horizons program. There are a lot of those musicians on stage today. Everyone who's in the New Horizons, raise your hand. It's an excellent way to either come back to music or begin music as an adult. So it's really a wonderful program. What else was I supposed to say? I got sidetracked. So we all started somewhere, all right? So we needed a teacher. So in this room, I bet there are a ton of music educators. And let's please give them a very, very big thank you and welcome. Music teachers, please stand up. Music teachers, please stand up. Music teachers out here, if you're ready, please stand up. So these are the people that inspire us and guide us and sometimes really annoy us, but it all comes from a very, very good place. We all enjoy making wonderful music, so it's great to be able to share that with everybody. So we're going to move right along now to We Three Kings. So, I'm sure all of you are wondering, how in the heck did we start doing this in Rochester? How did we get here? Well, I can tell you. We have two people here with us today that are responsible for that. All right, one very important guy is sitting right in front of me, Mr. Joe Baker. Everybody, big thanks to Joe Baker. That's Joe. So Joe had this brilliant idea to bring Tuba Christmas to Rochester. Joe is a tuba player and really wanted to make this happen, and he got it going. But he had a partner in all of that. So we have, sitting right back here playing with us today, our longtime conductor, Mr. Glenn K. Call. A big hand for Mr. Call. So the two of those men really formed this and got it to where it is today, and I kind of just took the reins from them and just kind of kept it going. So if they hadn't done it so well before, it would have made my job a lot more difficult. So thanks to them. We're going to move right on to Angels We Have Heard on High. So you guys all are enjoying this, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And it sounds great. You think we should do it here again, right?
Yeah.
Me too. This is wonderful. So this theater opened in 1922, and George Eastman thought it would be great to have a great place to gather community for performance of music and dance, and also silent films with a live orchestral or organ accompaniment, and that's what this hall was built for. George Eastman gave so much great stuff to our community. So now, it's used by the Eastman School of Music, and the RPO plays here, and any number of great things that are going on here all the time. So it's just wonderful to be in this very historic and beautiful concert hall. So, O come, Emmanuel. Thank you. All right, now we're getting into the good stuff. So before we do, we wish you a Merry Christmas. So I tried to get you riled up a little earlier, and let me just double check. We do think it's a great idea to do this here next year, right? Well, I've got fantastic news for you, man. Mark it on your calendar, December 9th. Next year, we will be right back here. So, I often get asked the question, how do we, a lot of people missed out on tickets. How do we find out about tickets? How do we find out when the show is going to be? Put this to memory, RochesterTubaChristmas.org, right? Very simple, RochesterTubaChristmas.org. That site is updated. That's one thing that I can do. Apparently, I'm not really good at Facebook. We do have a Facebook page also, Rochester Tuba Christmas on Facebook. That's easy, right? So, look us up, find out what's going on. You'll know when tickets are going on sale. You'll know what to tell your friends and family about next year's concert. But we will be definitely here next December on the 9th. Okay, very similar to today. So, as most of you know, this is a sold-out show. This show is sold out. Every single ticket is sold out, which is fantastic. It's absolutely incredible. So the last several years, you know, we've been over at Hochstein, which is just a gorgeous auditorium, but it only seats 850 people. So we've been selling that out for many years now, really, really quickly. So we really did need to grow and find a new home. Not anything against Hochstein, we loved it there. We just needed more seats. So here we are in the Eastman Theater, where we seat a little over 2,300 people in this room, which is great. So to be able to sell that out on the first year, moving to new venue, I think is really, really special. And it says a lot about you folks, and it says a lot about these people up on stage, and just our community's love for music and holiday spirit. Now, I just have one thing to say about next year. If you look up there, and even around here, you see a lot of empty seats, all right? So, I know many of you probably just took one or two extra tickets that you really didn't need. So next year, just be very, very careful. We really want to fill all those seats all the way to the top, all right? So think about exactly how many tickets you're going to need, and please be a little bit more conservative with your ticket grabbing. I really appreciate the enthusiasm, believe me, but I think we can get some more people in here. So just keep that in mind next year as you're gathering your tickets. Thank you very much. We wish you a Merry Christmas. So in rehearsal a little earlier, so we only get together once a year to do this. We rehearse for about an hour right before the concert, take a quick break, and then we do the show. Pretty remarkable, right? It sounds fantastic. So I told all the tuba players over here, after last year's concert, I went back and listened to the recording of the concert, and I was like, everything sounded amazing, but when we got to We Wish You a Merry Christmas, it was way too slow. So I think they did all right this year. What do you think? Good job, tubas. Good job, tubas. Excellent. So I've done a lot of thanking this afternoon, and I really apologize that you have to sit here and listen to all of this, but it's very important. So we know that we love being here, and this has been a great move for us and a great experience for all of us. But I haven't even gotten to the people that really helped make this all work today. So I'll start with just a brief story. Right after last year's concert, I began talking to this guy who thought it would be a brilliant idea to come over to Eastman, and I said, yeah, you know, I agree with you. I think that would be fantastic, but I don't think we're ever going to get an Eastman theater. That's going to be tough, and it's going to be really expensive, and it's going to be really challenging. There's so many things going on. In fact, this morning, there was an RPO rehearsal with choir. They're doing the Messiah later tonight. So now we're here, and as soon as we're done, the RPO comes back. So it's a very busy schedule here in the Eastman Theater. But we started talking to some folks over here and realized that this was actually going to be a possibility. And in fact, everybody in the concert office here at Eastman was really, really enthusiastic about doing it. And I thought to myself, wow, this might actually happen. And we started talking about financial stuff, and I was like, this is actually going to happen. So I really, really, really have to thank my good friend Peter Webster for helping inspire this to happen. So a big hand for Peter. So we really have Peter to thank for this. And it's just come together so nicely. It's really quite remarkable. So thank you, Peter. So that was great. So we had a date, and everything was booked like in January of last year, really soon after the concert. And I was like, this is going to be great. Then a few weeks go by, and I talked to Peter again, and he says, hey, you know, this man that I've been sitting next to in the New Horizons band for all this time, turns out he also thinks this is a great idea, and he happens to be on the board of the Daisy Marquis Jones Foundation. So John, thank you. And also, it's important to know, this is John's first Tuba Christmas. He sounds great, right? So John helped us very much in securing a grant to help with funding this event today and making admission free to all of you people, which I'm sure you appreciate. And so it's been a tremendous collaboration over the last year with these two gentlemen, and also everybody here at Eastman. Is Julia still around? I saw her creeping around in the back. I tried to get Julia to play with us today, but she declined. I don't know. We'll work on her for next year. So Julia in the concert office here at Eastman has been just a tremendous help, and also Keith Elder in helping make this all come together. So also our stagehands, Brian and Jules, and everybody on the ushering crew and the box office. That's been a lot of work. So tremendous thanks to everybody involved one more time. And one more thing, this one really will give me a lot of points. My wife, Michelle. So we put Michelle at the registration table for all of these instruments and people to come in, and she's got to sort and divide and put people in the right direction and all of that good stuff. So she does great at that. So thanks to Michelle as well. It wouldn't work without her. We have another partner that I need to thank very much as well. The city of Rochester is also a partner of ours. And they've printed the programs that you're holding. They've done a fabulous job with that. Thank you. Thank you, city of Rochester. Specifically thank Joe, I see you over there in the special events office. I don't know if Joe is here. Joe, are you here? If you are, I can't see you, but Anyways, Joe and Leslie, thank you very much. City of Rochester Special Events. They also did some promotion for us. They also secured free parking in the garage for all of us. So, big thanks for the city. I think I've got everybody. If I missed somebody, I must apologize. But thank you so much for all being here today. We have a few more for you. We're going to move right on to Hark the Herald Angels Sing. That last chord was spectacular.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Do your seats vibrate out there? You feel this? It's pretty cool. Well, I know this has been a lot of fun, but we got to end sometime. So I really, once again, thank you all so very much for being here today. We hope to see you back here next year. I wish you all very happy holidays. And we're going to finish up the set with America's favorite drinking song.